Hey, what's up? It's Mark. And I have a question for you. Where is that sun? I'm missing it. But it's the topic of today's video. Today's topic is vitamin D, the sunshine vitamin. So let's kind of go through this in kind of some detail about vitamin D supplementation. First of all, what does vitamin D actually do for your body's immune system? Well, vitamin D helps you with what's called your innate immune system. This is the barrier protection that your body has. So think about this as like your sinus membranes, your throat, the glands inside of your throat, maybe it's your vaginal tract, maybe it's your ears, maybe it's your skin. All these barriers are supported by vitamin D. So having proper amounts of vitamin D regulated helps your system regulate those effectively. So if they need to be ramped up, they can ramp up. If they need to be wound down, they can wind back down. This waxing and waning is part of a healthy immune response. Second, they work on what's called the adaptive immune response. So vitamin D helps your body turn on the light switches inside of your genetic code to tell you to start expressing these genes that turn on these agents that actually fight these infections that we get on a regular recurring basis. So imagine this now. Calling in the army to help defend you when it comes to B cells and T cells and all these things that are inside of your immune system. Vitamin D does that effectively for you. And having your ability to keep your vitamin D in an optimized window is going to help that moving forward to kind of help properly mount a normal immune response. Very, very helpful for that. It also has been shown to turn down one of the inflammatory markers that you have inside of your body that really, really does a good job to help get rid of those, those pains, those joint pains, those aches that you might be having, those generalized feelings of inflammatory problems in general. So vitamin D is a crucial vitamin to have balance inside of your body if you want to have a proper immune response. So here's what you need to know if you're going to start taking vitamin D this winter. First of all, you want to keep vitamin D in what I call the Goldilocks zone. So there's a zone that we want to kind of see the vitamin D levels be at a certain kind of like category. So imagine this like guardrails. You want to really see your vitamin D levels inside of the guardrails. On either side of those guardrails, there's problems to be found. And in Canada, most times having that number between 60 and 80 nanograms per deciliter is what you're shooting for. So ask your doctor to check your vitamin D levels, see if you can get that test done. If you do, you might need to know from God to do that. But at the end of the day, if you get that vitamin D level checked, make sure it's in that proper, box that you can kind of look at and keep yourself between the guardrails. And if you're taking vitamin D, here's what I want you to know about when you take it. Number one, you need proper magnesium levels inside of your body to help the kidneys and the liver turn the vitamin D in your bottle into an active form inside of your body. So if you're magnesium deficient, you might not be getting the proper balance that you need from the vitamin D supplements. So make sure you're actually taking your magnesium levels and keeping those optimized while you're taking vitamin D. The next one is take a vitamin D that has a vitamin K2 in it. Vitamin K2 is a wonderful vitamin that actually helps move around the calcium that vitamin D helps pull in. So let me say that again slowly. Vitamin D will help your body regulate and move around calcium, but you need vitamin K to direct that calcium the proper places to go, because you don't want to be finding that calcium inside of your arteries, inside of your joint tissues. You don't want to be finding it there. You want to be finding that calcium inside of your bones, inside of your teeth, inside of the place that have high calcium stores. So taking a vitamin K is very, very helpful. And you can find those two supplements together. The next one is going to be the timing. You want to take vitamin D when you have a meal that has fat in it. Vitamin D is what's called a fat-soluble vitamin. And if you need to know what that means, vitamin D, that means that when you take it in, it requires your body to have fat to make its way through your digestive system and start dissolving inside of the fat tissue inside of your body, whereas so many of the other vitamins that you take dissolve in the water systems of your body. So taking vitamin D with a meal that has a good quality fat in it, think about things like olive oil or olives or fish or meat or beef or chicken, those things that have good quality fats are going to help you with absorbing vitamin D. It does not matter if you take vitamin D with breakfast or with supper. That's a myth. You can take it whenever you want. The trick here is be consistent with when you take it. So for me, I generally take mine in the morning. I leave it on the counter because I have a worst memory in the world for remembering these types of things. I leave it on the counter, so I have to see it every single morning so I can take it. Give it to me, give it to my wife, give it to my kids, give it to all the people in our family. So next, the most common question is the dose. How much do I take? The answer is I really don't have a recommended dose for you, and here's why. It depends on what your levels are. So for me, my vitamin D levels right now are sitting at about 70 nanograms per deciliter. What that means is I'm inside the Goldilocks zone. I don't need to be pushing the limits on how much vitamin D I'm taking. And in fact, when I push my vitamin D levels up higher, I get more jaw tension than I want. So I want to keep mine in that lower end of that spectrum. I find myself feeling better that way. But only reason why I know that is because I tested a ton about feeling how what I feel best about with vitamin D. The first thing I recommend for most people is to take at least 1,000 to 3,000 international units of vitamin D per day and do that consistently for a month. And then ask your doctor or other healthcare provider to check your vitamin D levels to see what that number is. That's going to give you the determination as to whether you keep on that same dose, you lower it, or you get higher doses inside of your body. You really need to use the numbers to guide this decision because you don't have a way to actively feel vitamin D inside of your day. You need to have a number or a test to actually tell you where you are inside that sweet spot. So, a couple things to wrap it up. You need vitamin D to support your immune system like crazy. It's the most important nutrient you can probably add to your routine right now to keep your immune system strong or adapting with the times. Number 2, take it with food so you get your good quality fats in there. And don't take too much because they can cause problems on one side of the guardrail. And taking too little or being deficient causes another subset of problems on the other side of the guardrail. So keep it in that Goldilocks zone, and that might require you to test to figure out what that number is. That's how you figure out your proper dose and keep yourself feeling optimal. If you need help with any of those things, let me know. The most common recommendation I give for vitamin D with vitamin K2 is down below in a link. If you want to grab some, awesome. Hope you enjoy yourself, and I hope you have a fantastic day. See ya.